jet and middleman stage to save some time.
Oh, neat. That's like you could just go through the Pyro bots?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And not have to deal with the conveyor belts because you're on rush jet instead.
That's neat. I'll have to watch your run if you do that. Here we go, guys. Game 2 again.
Time ago. I think it was from the old Speed Demos archive run. The 2007.
For those of us just joining us, so this match between RaveTuba and Ground Hero is separated by only 11 seconds. Hero did win game 1, however, it was pretty close, and they both had personal race bests, so I don't expect anything less from both of them this time around either. So 2 is getting an early lead here with some better management through the moles. I believe 3 moles is the maximum that you'll have at any point on screen, so progressing through them in a specific manner is what helps you traverse longer sections without getting hit by one.
Although at certain points you actually do want to get hit by them because they deal a lot less damage than the crushers, and it just gives you enough invincibility to slide right through them.
Gran getting a whole ton of HP and an extra life, so that small farming he did there could pay off later on, given a mistake.
Do you know if there are any resources, any forums, or
We have a tuba death. Sorry, carry on.
any social platform or something for Mega Man 2 speedrunning? Is it pretty much just this Discord?
Yeah, I mean the Discord definitely is where most runners hang out. I mean, I'm sure there's other Game Boy lovers out there. However, from a speedrunning standpoint, this is where you want to be, on the classic Mega Discord.
In general, any Mega Man fan is probably going to know about any Mega Man game speedrun, it seems. If you play one, you have to play them all, right?
Yeah, it applies to me anyway. I have a 1 to 5 run under my belt and plan to do more. But we lost the screen a little bit here, but we have it back. So we're seeing an early lead from Ground Hero, which didn't die against Metal. That's why you're seeing such a difference. With 3 HP, I imagine he's not going to take the top route.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Top route is only useful if you've done everything else optimally, otherwise you can't take the D-boost that makes it worthwhile. This Met screen, the one Hero is on, is it looks easy, but it takes a while to master and time your blades to make sure, and your slides into the Mets to make sure you don't lose any momentum. Alright, so Hero's already at the Woodman fight. Looks like he jumped and squeezed one of those blades in. That was pretty cool, but I don't know if it's actually a time saver other than just going in.
It can be. I'm sure it probably is.
Definitely off to an early lead here, but a full fight behind.
In fact, Andy doesn't even go inside the leaf shield. He just tries to hit him from the outside for 4 shots.
Yeah, we can probably count on one hand the runners that even try that strategy, let alone carries it through the whole way.
Kind of ridiculous, but I guess that's the fun of it.
Yeah, I think that's what's been great about these tournaments. I mean, not just Game Boy, but when something gets featured that a large group can watch the game, it brings a lot of interest and competition into that game, and runners have really stepped up to the plate and found new things and just put the game in the spotlight basically and into a better shape speedrunning wise. Like I'm sure you've learned a ton just watching these guys play. I know my 2055 isn't worth much anymore. So the fast ride here on the clouds, you actually want to use the whip shield. If possible, you can actually kill 2 of them with proper placement. Both runners opting just to go with Metal Blades or Buster. Probably just a comfort thing here. Eliminating that RNG or drop factor. I mean, safe routing is not always a bad idea, especially in a match where you know the player against you probably will do the same thing. But when it comes to higher seats, then it becomes really difficult to get through with safe strats because the other person will probably be able to land some difficult tricks.
Yeah, I was wondering if we would see any airman first strats in the losers bracket, but I think as we go on in the tournament, it's going to be increasingly important to save those few seconds by going metal first.
Yeah, as I was mentioned quickly earlier, players are seated now where they are going to face players that are a lot more of their skill level, so any time loss that you take will be affecting your single race that you're currently in a lot more. And we're seeing that in this race, like every mistake has been like a change of lead or like a gap closer. Brandon's off to a good start. He's been keeping his lead through Clashman now. I personally love this stage. 1, I enjoy the song, and 2, all the rush jet climbing is pretty fun. However, you probably know yourself, Rush Jet is pretty janky in this game. Sometimes if you jump on him too quick, you'll just kind of walk off of him. You won't actually fly.
Though ironically, that's actually useful in this particular stage for one energy tank. The first energy tank you come across when you're falling down, this one Tuba just passed by, you could actually jump on the Rush Jet, and if you do it early enough, then he doesn't move at all, and you could just jump up to the tank and just drop down to the ladder below.
Yeah, so this is new from maybe a couple days ago at most, that people used to always fall on the right side and pick up the later E-tank in the game at a place of their choosing, but lately runners have found out that it's actually faster to go on the left side, and on top of that, picking up the E-tank that's right in front of you. So another community discovery.
Yeah, another minor thing on the Clashman fight is if you do tiny hops to do the air shot, you can avoid hitting the flash bombs and just hit them just a little bit earlier, a little bit sooner.
For much like its NES counterpart, he is fully manipulable through inputs, so if you're too close to the wall and you can't move or something like that, you can force him to jump and slide under or something like that. So that's why you see runners just letting him walk away and then throwing their shot. Not the fast strat, but definitely the face strat and welcomed in the race.
Yeah, this one fight you want to spend an hour or 2 practicing.
I think that's being nice about it. Yeah, definitely a reset point early on in your Game Boy career. Let's see if he shoots at the eyebrows here. If you actually spam your shoot button while the ground breaks, you can actually shoot a Buster at Wily. That was not the case. It'll be for another time. What are some of your favorite songs in this game, Jagger?
Well, I kind of like the Wily stage, even though it's the same as the title theme. For some reason, it just feels so fitting as the final stage music.
Sure, I do enjoy this one quite a bit, the Metal Man. I do enjoy the Clash as well. Kind of a softer tone to it, but fitting to the stage, like you're saying, for the Wily. I think I've learned to appreciate the songs a bit more. When I initially listened to it, I had a bit of an opinion that other people have, like it was loud and screechy and stuff like that. But I think after playing it for a while, it fits in very well with everything else.
Yeah, it's been described as ear piercing, and that never really bothered me. So this was always probably my favorite soundtrack in the series.
That must be all the people that hear Laurel, right? Here you go, Magnet again. Plenty of health, should be alright. He does do 4 damage here, so if you're not careful, like you can see, it's going down fast here. Only 1 health for Tuba. He did not take a damage in game 1, so it'll be interesting if he's able to do that.
Let's see, will he take an intentional death, maybe?
I hope Endy's not listening. He doesn't like intentional deaths.
And he doesn't need it.
That's incredible. Like, to do that twice in a row in a race setting, like, you all should give Tuba a shout out for that. Like, it's rarely seen. He's giving us something we haven't seen in the tournament. Damageless Magnet twice in a row in a fairly optimal fashion. Like, he's still killing him at the top right.
Yeah, it's a really interesting boss. A lot of people seem to be torn on whether it's an easy or hard boss. Like, some people just get it.
Yeah, the hands just fall into place. I don't know how we could describe it, but I personally have a hard time with that fight with all the directional inputs. I kind of get lost in my inputs after a while. So the hard man stage, looks like we have about half a hard man stage lead here, which it's fairly short, so it might actually, it's a smaller lead than it might feel, given it's a short stage. But a pretty straightforward stage, I would say. It's the easiest one to learn at first. There's little optimizations here and there, and you have to watch your health, but once you get it down path, it's no big deal. Let's see if Hardman shakes the ground this time. No ground shaking. Tuba's turn, so yeah, we could see there with the end he was a boss screen and maybe 2 Game Boy size screen behind, so it's a lot closer than it felt at the beginning. Good fight for Tuba. Probably about a second faster than Heroes, so any time save is welcome for him right now. He's gotta find a way to get back into this one. Time to break the game. So, worth mentioning again, as especially if you haven't been watching from the beginning, the hard knuckle weapon in Mega Man 2 causes a glitch when you use it exact same frame as your stream transition. You can actually skip some screens and fall into the one below the one you're supposed to go. We didn't see it yet, but we're going to see the simple ones through the ladder.
And here in Top Man Stages, another European version difference you mentioned before, where there's just a block that's not there on the European version. It just lets you slide through underneath the drill dozers, the bulldozers.
Yeah, and you have pretty low health on optimal route there. I wonder how it could change the route. you probably are forced to take the health almost. Granted, up to 5 lives, he's not having anything about game overs here. Let's see how he does with top man. Both players didn't manage to get the optimal fight the first time around. That was much better from Hero, yeah. And he knockback from the damage actually pushes him back towards the middle, which is a small time save in itself. Let's see if Tuba can match it up.
Yeah, some players do it a bit differently. I usually just do one slide and then start shooting, and it seems to be faster for me. And it just puts me in the center after I get hit by a top.
Yeah, what I do is step back before the third shot and throw it, and it puts me in the middle without getting hit, but I initially did it the way you've described, where you just take the third hit and then do the rest of the shots. Needleman, it's a pretty fun stage, but it's a difficult stage. There's a lot of rush jet used, there's a lot of damage you need to tank. Players will likely be using a knee tank unless they go super safe. Hero opting to just fly over everything. If you put Rush at the exact height, you can actually do a slide off of Rush onto the cannons with the platform the cannons are sitting on, but it's extremely precise.
I think there's like a pixel on the edge of the platforms that you could stand on safely.
So we have a demonstration of why this new zip is so good. So normally you don't want to be down one hardman weapon here, or you probably have to use coil and jump up there and grab the refill, or the one in Wily. But this one brings you right to the refill and you don't have to worry about it. You're already on the hard knuckle from doing the zip, so you don't have to do a weapon switch again. Only for top, of course.
It's pretty great. It both saves time and gives you the opportunity to save more time.
Yeah, and we've been seeing every runners of different skill levels do it, so I haven't tried it personally myself, but it looks like the latter makes the setup fairly simple. Good fight. You're through. I think Tuba made a bit of time there. He was some screens behind fights right now. He was just like boss door behind there. And he lives, which is important. We haven't talked about Quint, so I haven't read the entire thing, but apparently it's Mega Man from the future in some sense.
Yeah.
I mean, the Pogo is really what highlights Quint, or the Sakugane, I should say.
It's really weird. I don't understand it at all. For some reason, that Mega Man is working for Dr. Wily, and yeah. So we gotta saw his face off and take his pogo stick.
The games will be games. Sometimes things don't need to make sense.
So before zips were found, we used the hard knuckle, which does a lot more damage to him than any of the other weapons.
Right, that's what I was told as well, that I wonder with the refill that you pick up on Needle if that opens up fighting Quint with the hard knuckle instead.
Maybe, but we still one-round it with just the clash bombs and the metal blades.
Right. I don't know if it would make up for losing the opportunities at the important zips in Wily. Something the runners will surely be testing. They've just about broken down this game in every aspect throughout the weeks of this tournament. We got a pretty important lead here from Hero. It's going to be hard for Tuba to come back. It's going to take some kind of mistake here.
Yeah, it's very possible to have to refight Wily.
And you don't want that because usually you're out of jet, you're out of... Sometimes you're short in E-Tank than you wanted to, and things just don't go very well after that. I don't think we've seen any soft locks in this tournament though, which is good. I hope I haven't cursed anybody today. That would be the one. That's a nice refill for Tuba, just not having to worry about health picking up that large one. Here we go, Wily for Hero. Phase 1, you just want to hop on Jet and kind of get to his capsule height and shoot as many busters timely as you can.
Alright, he's in good shape for the rest of the fight.
This is an example that he doesn't want to mess it up because he's out of E-Tanks. Oh no, Tuba died. He's got to start all the way down there and do the entire climb. Very frustrating death. I would say at this point this is Granon's to lose. He does have more than enough resources to finish T-Rex. So I don't think we've mentioned it, but if you can shoot 2 shots at Wily when you jump, and if you space them perfectly, it'll actually hit him twice. If they're too close, the iframes won't have expired and he'll only take 1 damage. GG for Granin, official time of 21:35 in SRL. It's going to take this match 2-0. Let's keep some good vibes going for Tuba until he finishes.
Yeah, that double shot on Wily, it's something that trips up a lot of runners. I see they tend to shoot the second shot too early. It's really tricky to time.
Yeah, it's not really it's not intuitive. You have to practice it. Like, it's not something you normally do in Mega Man. Space your shots too much, especially while jumping and worrying about your health, because generally you're below half at least in that fight. So I think all those factors combined, you might feel pressed into making mistakes.
It's funny, I hear a lot of casual players saying they can't match that faster and whatnot, but ironically in this fight it's a matter of being able to delay it.
Exactly, yeah. And it's the case of most Game Boy games, having played all of them, and I'm not a great masher myself, but timing your shots more so than mashing is very important in Game Boy because of longer iframes on most enemies and stuff like that. Here we go, T-Rex for Tuba.
He's got plenty of health to burn. 1 shot at a time, we'll get there.
GG Tuba, official time in SRL 23:22. So that means that Granin Hero will move on. I believe, I have to double check the rules after that, but I believe that would be the end of the road. We'll see if we can get any of the runners for a quick interview. I know from the resets we fell behind a little bit.
So does that mean Hero's gonna move on to face Infinite Mystery?
That's correct, and the winner of that face is Hard Selection, which has had an amazing tournament so far.
Yeah.
Just checking with the runners to see what we Looks like interview has time. We'll see if we can get some of the runners in.
I love the credits theme as well. It's
For
such
sure.
it's such a long credit sequence, and doesn't even credit the creators.
And you can see all the different name of enemies, which we often feel like overlooking. Looks like Granite has joined us. Let's see if we can bring him in. All right, we're joined by. Oh, he left again.
Tricked you.
Yo, Grannon, thank you for joining us, and congratulations on your win. How does it feel?
Thank you. I just wonder if my mic is working.
It is.
Yeah, it's
Yes, we can hear you.
Perfect. My girlfriend is always watching my races. Hello, Emily. And she reported that the first round was very, very close.
Yeah, it was.
So I just got so stressed during the second race. I was like, oh my god, RaveTuba is just breathing down my neck, and I have to do everything I can, and I just kept making stupid mistakes, and I used the E-tank on Clashman that I even didn't needed to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. We
We are joined by RaveTuba, so welcome RaveTuba and GG to your races. I do want to start. I have a question for you. I mean, I think everybody's wondering what happened in Game 1. Can you explain what happened to everybody?
I do have a speculation because I was just a few minutes before the match. I was changing the color scheme of my BGB, and I noticed that it was just before getting to Metalman. My game crashed. The emulator just crashed. It gave me that error screen that you can't exit out if you click the cross. It just reappears. So I was struggling to get that sorted. But I think it has to do with me leaving the options menu open of BGB while I was running. I might have forgot to take that out.
And it really brings me to question 2, Brian. What happened to you in Game 2?
My Super Famicom just froze. So I guess it's the heat wave we got here in Sweden. It just couldn't handle the heat of the race and the sun.
Your skills were just on fire out there.
Yeah.
I do have one last question, and I'll let Jagger speak up if he has some question of his own. I know you guys know each other pretty well outside of this tournament, like through the Tiny 10 and just Game Boy in general. You guys are pretty much titans in the community for Game Boy in general. Was there anything special for you guys? Maybe starting with Tuba, anything special for you playing versus Granin today?
For me, I would say the name of my opponent is the most noticeable thing, honestly, because even though it's true that I did participate with Granin, I believe, on Tiny 10, on the previous Tiny 10s, I've never really interacted with him. It's the first time actually hearing him speak. But it was an iconic name. I heard Granin almost that name everywhere whenever I was looking for tutorials, looking for strats, looking at the scores. I would always see his name up. So I had the respect for the name more than the person because I never really interacted with him.
Well, thank you.
Sorry, that sounded a bit bad.
No, it's fine. It's totally fine.
And we hope to both see both of you tomorrow in the Tiny 10. Jagger, was there anything you wanted to ask the runners here, maybe before we wrap the interviews?
Yeah, sure. Granin, going on to face Infinite Mystery, I believe, in the next round. Anything you're going to change up? Anything you're going to focus on in practicing for that match?
Yeah, I was doing a lot of mistakes in, I believe it was Hardman, maybe. or no, Needleman was terrible. And I didn't get any frame perfect zips. That really, I have trained so much on them. I just want to show it off in a race. So I guess I'll train more for that, and maybe try and do Clash Man a little more fancy than just running to the left and the right in the room all the time.
That's a pretty safe way to fight them, but it costs some time.
Yeah, it's a race, so you have to do like the safe strat sometimes. I can't just reset and go on forever. So you have, I don't watch Tuba stream either, so I don't know where he is. I just focus on my screen all the time.
No. It's true that I don't stream that much though. Actually, that might have been a factor of the second run loss, because I actually died to Metalman trying to get him stuck on the wall. He fooled me.
Trickster.
It happens a lot.
Yeah, I think Jagger can agree with me. Like, this whole match was really about mistakes, because skill-wise, we could tell you guys were on par. You were doing the same tricks. Like, it was whoever made this particular part quicker, or any major mistakes. Like Tuba's death in Wiley kind of set him back of a chance to come back in.
True.
But Grannon's consistency is really what kept him just a few screens ahead in this one.
No, and I didn't get to congratulate Grannon, so I guess congrats.
Yeah, thanks, and congrats as well.
Thank you.
Do you guys have anything you wish to add, maybe before we wrap this up here? Because I'm sure there's other events that are waiting for us.
I mean, RaveTuba, we're gonna show down at the Tiny 10 tomorrow, so
True.
it's on.
It certainly is, and it's gonna be way more challenging considering the
games. The Pingu game is tearing everyone down.
I still haven't practiced it. I'm going to die.
Tuba, do you plan on continuing playing Mega Man 2, or is that the end of the road for you?
I'm immediately changing to Pingu.
Alright, go to RaveTuba if you want some Pingu, guys.
I continue streaming, I guess, then.
Alright, Jagger, you want to wrap us out here?
That sounds pretty hype. So thanks for everyone for coming. Thanks to the racers for keeping it close, keeping it exciting. And thanks to my co-commentator Manix86. And thanks for everyone behind the scenes, keeping the stream running, and to all of you for watching. See you next time.
Sunday, guys, for some more Game Boy.